Hello, so welcome back to Barbed Audio. Today we're joined with a very exciting band in the studio, this time that are London-based, and we've been wanting to get them on for a while. It's the Ariston. How are you guys doing?
Great, very happy to be here.
Very happy to have you on the show today. Yeah, no worries. So today we're just going to get to know a bit more about these guys and just the music they create and just everything in general. So starting off with it, just let everyone out there know who you are.
We are the Ariston. We're from London and we play indie rock music.
Yeah,
That's probably how I'd describe it. Yeah.
1975. Who were we compared to? They're 1975. Two Door Cinema Club, Capturing the Bottom, and obviously the Arctic Monkeys are the grandfathers of our genre. I think that's the best way.
Yeah.
We're dressed in black. We like to look like we're the business. So
Yeah.
bit of arena rock sort of vibe, sort of thing. Yeah. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely does. So how would you guys describe your music in one word?
Any takers on that?
Anthemic.
Oh, I know.
I came up with that one. He's nicked it.
Explain it more.
So, big tunes, big sound, arena rock. What's usually associated with arena rock, anyway.
No, I think that's really good. Any others?
I was going to take Anthemic as well.
Well, yeah. That Luca pretty much knocks. There's we got like a really good sentence locked down, which we've now forgotten. But it's written down somewhere. Like there's a familiarity in what we play because of like the music we've been brought up on. A lot of it was like, we can get into that later, but a lot of it is related to the band's name. It's from like a collection, like a lifetime's worth of collection of like vinyls and stuff. All of the best music from like the 50s till now. And yeah, we sort of combine that with a sort of sound that's come from the place where incidentally Luca and I met, which was London, like late 2010s. So that ends up making quite like that sort of arena sound that becomes, that brings anthems out because of all that stuff that I've just mentioned. I was sort of making sense for a minute there and lost it.
So your most recent release, tell us a bit about the kind of backstory behind that, how it came about, how kind of the process of making it. Yeah.
Probably not for Luca.
So, we've done new tracks called Simona. Is that the one you're referring to? Yeah. New track's called Simona. We've been playing it for ages. It's been on our set list for about 2.5 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. And it was actually on a vinyl. We called it The Vinyl, which was an EP, live EP that we did ages ago. But we wanted to put out a studio track, and we thought that was the most sort of fitting one at the moment. And it started just an idea that I sort of was just strumming along, and we didn't really know where to go with it. And then Will sort of took over and then wrote the lyrics, and so this one was very much his sort of, baby, I guess.
That actually links into the name of the song, because that came. I remember the voice memo that we had for that idea that Luca's mentioned was Luca's song. That was the name of it because Luca came up with it, and then that turned into Simone's song because of a close relative of Luke, his mum. I don't know why, I'm trying to protect her identity there. And then Simone's song, because I thought that sounded cool because of the alliteration. And then when the song started to develop, I'm sure we'll get into it, with the ideas for the song, we then sort of developed Simone's song into Simona, spelt with an A to avoid people misreading it for Simone.
Which still happens anyway.
Yeah. But yeah. So yeah.
Would you guys say that, like, kind of saying about like each, like, there's more your song? Do you guys find that there's sometimes like a song will gravitate towards one person's kind of, if you know what I mean, like kind of making it from the ground up kind of thing, and like.
Sometimes.
I think the writing, it has changed quite a lot recently. I think we write a lot more together now, but mostly it's Luca and Will who come up with sort of the first idea, and then it's brought to us. But with Simona in particular, that was definitely, well, obviously you started with it and then Will's written the lyrics and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the songwriting process does change based on the track, and it's definitely nowadays it's very much more, we're in a rehearsal room, we're jamming, something will come up, and
I guess that's the best
how it comes together.
I guess that's the best way, where it's more kind of authentic and just in the moment. I think you can't force it really, can you? So
Absolutely.
That's a symptom of every song meaning something. That we do. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna play a 30-second clip of that track now. So if you want to introduce it.
Yeah. We're the Ariston, and this is our new single, Simona.
Check it out.
Yeah.
In a
So from where you started to now, would you guys say that your sound has changed a lot, and have there been any like real life events that have affected that?
That's a good question. I think actually when we first started, we were probably a bit heavier than we are now. It's definitely, we were more on a alternative. A lot of our older stuff is a lot more alternative now. The newer tunes that we've been writing that will be coming out later in the year, I think they're definitely a bit more indie. Definitely a bit more like sparkly riffs and all those sorts of things.
I think Nathan's a big part of that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's clearly like different musical differences between myself and Clay, the old guitarist. Because I'm massively into my indie, it's like what I listen to. Whereas I think he was into a bit of heavy stuff. And the stuff you listen to bleeds into the stuff you create, really.
Definitely.
For sure.
So yeah, I'd say the sound has definitely changed when I first heard him.
Yeah, for sure. Better.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I definitely feel like kind of I feel like a lot of bands that's kind of a very natural progression. Is I think the heavy music's always quite an interesting outreach, and then you kind of find the sound. I think it gets more curated and you shape it, and it becomes more kind of rugged. And I think, like you said, like people having so many different influences in the band always makes something like amazing. You know, I've seen so many bands and also so many great examples of like an amalgamation of just like things you wouldn't think would work, but they do. And I think that's definitely a really kind of interesting outlook on it. So yeah,
for sure.
So how do you guys stay true to yourself whilst kind of balancing trying new things?
I think you're a big part of that, actually. Not to just throw this one at you like, Will, answer this one.
I'm trying to let someone else speak.
But I think you're always in quite a, when we're writing in those rehearsal rooms and stuff, I think you're always quite quick to like, I don't know, not look at the bigger picture, but like to just rein us in a bit. Because we do go all over the place. I mean, I say that we're indie alternative, but actually, I mean, we do, as you said, like with different amalgamations of genres and stuff. I mean, your influences are very much like off your dad's like vinyl collection, Led Zeppelin stuff. I'm a massive Queen fan, whereas Luca currently is massive on Wonder Horse. And although we're kind of in that genre, there's a lot of different influences on there. So I think staying true to yourself is, I don't know. I don't think we try and stop the creative process. We kind of let it get to a point and then we sort of like reevaluate, if you like. Does that make sense?
Yeah, on that as well, I'd say probably staying true to ourselves, and this sort of links into the previous question as well. I think a lot of our sound comes from, it's like it's been the same since we started, in the way of the a lot of our stuff is dealing with like heartbreaking and grief and stuff like that in and I mean that those two words in a very broad sense, and therefore it's sort of whatever sounds sort of right for that sort of process, that's staying true to ourselves. So I don't know, whatever fits that sort of feeling. I feel like that's a very common theme in our stuff. So whether that takes us to something heavier or something like more chill, it's all like a
just see what happens.
Yeah, each song's a process, and I think that's what makes every listen, or is supposed to make every listen worth it, is because every time you come back to a song, you're coming back to a feeling, a process, and therefore that feeling and process is going to be different depending on whatever moment you're in.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So when kind of coming to the creative process and just I guess the general kind of way you operate in the band, has there ever been like a piece of advice from, I guess not even just a musician, but that you've kind of taken on board?
I'm answering a lot of these here, so if anybody else wants to, just join in.
Trying not to speak.
I think the most, I mean, for me, I think recently we've been working with a producer called Jamie Brown, who works, fantastic guy, really believes in the band, which is, I mean, means the world to us. What's he thinking?
Sorry.
They're a London-based studio, based in Notting Hill, I think, that's correct.
Yeah, Portobello Road.
When we played a lot of our demos and stuff to him, he was like, right, these are great, and he loved it, but you have to think about appealing to like the current climate of music and like attention spans. And I know all this stuff really isn't that interesting, but it's important stuff, and it has changed the way we write a bit.
That's staying true to ourselves is that could link to the last one.
Yeah, definitely, and trying to find a blend of the two is important. And just like, for example, if we want to play, this is really getting like musical and boring, but I'm going to say it anyway. But if you have like 8 bars of something, like, is anything changing in the second 4 bars of that?
Yeah.
Do you need it there? Is it actually going to like? Luca's looking at me like, what are you talking about right now? This is the most boring thing. But yeah, I think he's probably influenced our songwriting quite a lot recently.
What's also cool about Jamie is that he's just so passionate about our music as well.
He's passionate about music.
He's passionate about music in general, yeah. He's worked with some really cool artists. And obviously he's working on our new record Simona with us and the next however many. But yeah, he's always like pushing us, and there's no real end to this what I'm saying at the moment, so I'm gonna stop talking.
He's a great guy. Check him out.
Yeah,
Fantastic guy. JBJ Studios.
Yeah, we'll check them out. Yeah, definitely. And I think it's so important to have that kind of almost spine to what you do. Of like, I think I've learned that now is sometimes it's hard to think to let people into kind of what you create as well, because it's your kind of your kid. You know, I mean, it's like what I do with this and stuff. And I think even coming to Brighton and changing scene and meeting people who are so enthusiastic about something, it makes you kind of be like, oh, actually, I want to invite them in because what they're doing is so interesting, and it's like, oh, that person can help come to fruition what I could not just almost do but not, you know. I think that's one thing I've learned, so I don't know if you guys agree with that, but I think that's definitely sounds like kind of similar thing. So in the kind of realms of the kind of making music and the music process, how do you know when an idea is worth pursuing?
Yeah, go on.
Interesting.
I think got an answer.
I don't know, I think a lot of our sessions, like we said before, are just us jamming and sort of collectively there's sort of like a feeling. Like, we've been playing this new track at the moment. We've not recorded it. It's like pretty much fresh off the bat. We've played it at 2 shows?
Yeah, 2.
We're playing it tonight as well at Brighton Student Union. But it was just like a collective, okay, this is really cool, and we were all very much in sync with it. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's got anything to add to that, but
No, pretty much that. And the ones that kind of don't make it, it's pretty unspoken. We try some things out. We say we'll come back to it, and then we just kind of never, and then we don't. And no one goes, no, that's awful, mate.
Yeah.
We'll always try everything that any of us put in. But yeah, the ones that we carry on and turn into something, obviously the ones that
the second listen as well. Like, I find the second listen. I didn't cut you off there, did I?
No.
I thought you were done. Okay, sorry. The second listen's always a big thing, because we've had stuff. I remember there was one session incidentally where Luca wasn't there, and it was us 3, and we wrote a song that we thought was really cool, and it still could be really cool, but we haven't like with this song we've mentioned, this other song. With the first song, we've like been obsessed with it since we wrote it. With this one that I've just mentioned now, it, as I say, it may still be good, but we haven't really come back to it yet. So I think like that second listen's always a good signpost. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's that thing, isn't it? I think it's always just good to create whatever you create, and like even if it becomes a project that has got I don't know, like a drum bit in it, throw it in the back and say, oh, I'll go back to that. I think, and I think it's
exactly.
You got to
it's
go through
natural.
the process.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think and like I think like you said, I think when a track feels right and you're so ecstatic about it, there's no holding back really. You might as well just go for it. You know, I think I've always taken that to whatever I create. If I'm not sure about it, you probably should kind of either come back to when you're in the right headspace, or maybe it's best to leave it because there's no point in putting all your effort into something you're like unsure about.
Yeah.
So this, I guess, kind of was touched on a bit more earlier. So how do you guys experiment with your sound and genre?
That's a good question again.
I sometimes try different effects on my guitar.
Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna say, it's mainly
recently-
guitar thing.
Yeah, recently I've started adding like stuff like phases and flanges to my pedal board, which I've never used before in my life. But I've been giving them a little bit of a go, and they kind of fit. Don't know whether we'll end up writing a song with them.
Yeah.
It does
But-
add a layer.
Yeah,
You're definitely right. I do
Yeah,
agree.
100%. Yeah, so it's just kind of how I experiment, just adding different effects to my guitar.
I think for me it's more like what I'm listening to at the moment.
Yeah.
The recent Blossoms album that came out last year, I listened to that a load, and then I was like, well, I like some of the grooves in here. Why don't I try and sort of like add them in? Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does, but I think that's probably where I go in terms of experimental. Can I take inspiration from other tracks and tunes and stuff? So
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, experimentation for me normally is within the realm of like storytelling rather than like a technical experimentation. So yeah, like sort of viewpoints to come at stuff from.
Again, when approaching your sound, have you ever been, you talk about a lot of lyrics and stuff and like how that's quite an important thing with your tracks. Have you ever been influenced by like an unexpected source, whether that be like a book, a film, you know, something that's non-music related?
I can't tell you the name of the song because I can't remember the name of the song. But it will come to me in a minute. I wrote a song purely off watching, just out of a TV show. I think Amber might have come from that a little bit as well, which was a track that we close all of our shows with at the moment. You know, before I was saying about anthems, that is the one that we associate as being
It's huge.
like a big like stadium rock sound, right? Yellow Lines is like a completely true and accurate to the lyrics, to the word, recollection of a very drunk night out while I was still at uni, which is the same year. We only met Finn a few months before it.
Yeah.
Before Yellow Lines.
I reckon. Yeah, that's done it.
And it's pretty much just me recounting a story of getting. I think I got ditched. I think I got ditched, didn't I?
You got kicked out. So he spent a night. I swear, you spent a night in a bus stop, and you were sitting on the curb, and you were looking at the yellow lines on the side of a road.
Because I was so pissed. I was just like, my eyes were just focused on these yellow lines in front of me.
And then you just sort of.
And then the song just came to me, you know.
Sat on a curb.
Just my genius just exuded out of me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, yeah. Good answer.
So what is an underrated artist or band that you guys currently like coming out of the UK? You can either say one each, or if there's collectively some you like, or just go for it.
I've got two that come to my head at the moment. A band called Bashed.
Oh, yeah. Ireland, right?
Irish band. They supported. Well, the only reason why I found out about them because they supported Wonder Horse at the O2 Kentish Down, which me and Dan in the corner over there went to together.
Get in here, Daniel.
Didn't we, Dan? There we go. And they were so cool. Anyway, me and Dan then went to one of their shows in London, met with them, trying to sort out a gig with them. Lads, get us back on it. Come on.
Yeah. No,
You know?
seriously. Tomorrow.
Absolute
Bashed.
anthem.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, they're definitely not small. Their social media following is massive, but they are up and coming. South Arcade. I don't know if anyone's familiar with it. They are brilliant.
Yeah, I think we follow them. So
Yeah,
they're
they
cool.
are class. I mean, their social media followers, they got like 200k or something silly like that. So they're definitely not small, but they sort of started it in the last sort of like 5-6 years, I believe. But yeah, they got some absolute tunes. So
Yeah, definitely.
go check them out.
I've got a couple actually.
Well, don't
We'll get through this.
Nathan as well. He might be
go.
There's a band called Artica. Who we're friends with. You've probably seen them on TikTok because they've got millions of views. Their bassist is ridiculous. It's just they're all ridiculous, but I mean the bass will literally blow you away.
Their new tune, I think is it Blossom?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolute tune, by the way.
So
Yeah.
Artica, also Emergency Brake.
Yeah, I was going to shout them too.
They're sick. They're like all their like most of their like press shots. Sorry guys if I'm getting this wrong. They're in like ties tied around their head and stuff like that. And it's a little bit like wet leggy a bit, but maybe I'm not seeing. I don't know.
Their show.
Yeah, and their live performance is unreal. There was one more. Well, these guys do not need us shouting them out, but the Molotovs as well.
All you want is more, more, more. All you want is more, more, more. Yeah, yeah. And I'm quite
If you haven't heard of them, they're on like over 50k now on Instagram. They've just been signed by Marshall. They've got a track coming out on March 21st.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Is it more?
Yeah, it's
Yeah. They're like we actually played some of our first ever gigs were with the Molotovs, and it's incredible to see them doing as well as they are, and it's no surprise. And they had like TikTok busking videos that just they're like sort of like what they're like punk, like they're just
The Jam.
they're leading this explosion of like what is it, punk rock stuff. Incredible guitar players. Yeah, it's Matt and Izzy, they're siblings. Yeah, incredible. So yeah, Emergency Brake, Arctica, and Molotovs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a band called the Night Cafe.
Isn't she lovely? Truer words I've never spoken.
Yeah, I don't think they're absolutely massive, but they are known. But I think they're the most indie-sounding indie band out there right now. I don't know any other way to put that.
Yeah.
I think you just have to go and listen to them, and like you kind of get what I mean.
So, what was the last song each of you listened to, and kind of, I guess, if any of them have any meaning to them, tell us what it is.
I think I'm actually going to pull a blinder here. I'm going to look so cultured.
I don't even have to look. Don't have to look. I'll go first as these lads check. Particles by Nothing But Thieves. They are my favourite band by a country
really
mile. I saw them at Cardiff Castle last year,
It was up.
and it was just like the show is mind blowing. But they've got some outrageous tunes. But yeah,
Definitely.
that's what I listened to in the car on the way here.
Banging
So,
track.
yeah, brilliant. It's
Mine,
fantastic.
mine. I first heard it yesterday, literally in a coffee shop yesterday.
Yeah,
And I was just like so attached to this. The chorus in this song is nuts. I was like so attached. I just had to message them and be like, I heard your song in a coffee shop, and it's an absolute tune. It's called Stacking Chairs by Middle Kids. Really indie, and their singer she's crazy talented, super cool. So check them out as well.
Cool.
Yeah. My last song is Sertraline by the Lottery Winners. Funnily enough,
That's convenient.
who we are supporting next week. But what does the song mean to me? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I just think it's an amazing song. I guess the song's kind of about not fitting in, kind of. When you're trying to hold on to something, but kind of life's moving on, is what I kind of take from that song.
If Not For You by George. Well, is it by George Harrison or is it a cover of Bob Dylan? I don't know. They both done it. I know.
One of them.
But off his All Things Must Pass LP, that was his first after the Beatles, if I'm not mistaken. I'm either going to look really cultured or really uncultured. Well, that album, some of you diehard Aristans, that's what we call our fans. I know it's awful. Will know that I'm a very passionate, well, Luke and I are both actors, and I'm a very passionate screenwriter as well. And that album inspires a lot of like songs, screenwriting. It's all the same. It all comes from the same place. And that album, for the feelings it sort of brings out, inspire a lot of what I do.
So, if you guys had an unlimited budget, what kind of merch line would you create?
I want
shin pads and everything.
home away.
Yes.
I want
kit.
like team tracksuits for Dan to wear on the sidelines, and like a keeper kit for Finn to wear because he's the drummer or something. Yeah,
That would be brilliant, to be fair.
that'd be mine.
Yeah, you're going to have to come back to me. I've got nothing at the minute.
I've got nothing. That's going to be a football kit.
Yeah, it's going to sound really boring after that because that's really interesting. But people have been asking for tote bags for ages, haven't they? So I think that would be cool to do. But
We've got so many good designs as well.
yeah, 10 of Clubs, by the way, just want to give them a shout out if that's okay.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah, we do all our merch with them.
One of ours.
Yeah, the
Show
t-shirt
off,
that Will has on.
model it.
Go on, Will. Turn it around.
Yeah.
back design as well.
Hopefully, it's not out of focus.
That's 10 of Clubs are brilliant guys as well. Definitely worth checking out. Good garms.
Semantics is a song of ours, by the way.
Yeah, that hasn't come from nowhere.
Designed this thing.
Mate, you're not in focus.
You can see it.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll figure it out. It's right. So one of, I guess, maybe you call it the elephants in the room is you guys were in the Bob Marley film, playing The Clash. How on earth did that come about?
So I was looking for acting jobs, and I spent so much time just scrolling through, looking for countless acting, roles and stuff to pick up because I didn't have an agent at that point, and so I was doing everything like myself. This thing popped up and it said looking for a musician to play in a band, to play in a feature film, unnamed. And I thought, oh, that sounded cool, so I thought I'd give it a try. And then I messaged the boys and I was like, well, they try and get involved in it as well because they're looking for a band, like a full band. Again, didn't know what it was for. I had a bit of an inkling because it was the clues were like Sex Pistols, The Clash, so that they, that was the sort of vibe that they were going for. But yeah, we did the tapes and went for it, and they liked us enough, and yeah, we got the part.
It was insane. Got to meet the director as well. Worked
Now
with
know
him.
Marcus Green. He said I look like Timothy Chalamet. So
Yeah, Will still.
Nobody
talks
else.
about
No,
that.
me and Finn didn't hear that.
Yeah.
okay, you can
It happened, didn't
He'll
it?
be watching. Right.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. And I had my hair chopped off, so
Yeah, too. That was a look for Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can send you that.
Yeah, they make.
But yeah, it
he was
was-
so
Incredible.
funny about his hair because his hair was super long
Yeah.
as well.
Well, but actually, because we dyed it back afterwards, and then it went. We dyed it red, and then black and brown. Then it went black. But then, as the summer, because we filmed in December
2022.
2022, and then we dyed it back. I actually kept it for a little while. I kept the blonde.
I thought it was
like,
cool.
really short.
They look cool.
It was different, and then we dyed it back. I should probably do that. I just realised. Sorry. Like in the spring, and then by the time we got to summer, it looked amazing. But I remember Finn, because we were in the trailer getting it all done, and Finn was giving it so large.
was giving it large.
When
It was so funny.
no, but then they said for a second, oh yeah, I think we're gonna have to cut and colour Topper, who was Finn,
Yeah.
and then he shut up.
Yeah, I did.
He shut up.
I was safe
and
because they were always going to wig me because I had quite short hair back then, sort of short, much shorter than
Yeah, mine was much longer.
Yours was
Try
really
and,
long.
do a wig on me as well, but couldn't get out of my big head. So
Yeah.
Thought they didn't shave him, but I got the most screen time, so. Oh.
No, I think it's definitely a really interesting opportunity. I guess like that helped. I'm going to say that helped in some way, like launch you guys a bit more into kind of having like more of a presence and stuff. And I guess that's really cool, just being able to go to the cinema and be like, oh, I'm on the screen.
It was- yeah, it was so cool.
That's surreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got up, I was like, that's me!
Someone's like, shut up.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much, that was pretty much.
No, but it's really cool to kind of see like an up and coming band get that opportunity. You know, I think it's
was
really
crazy.
unique. So yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Okay, so now we've got our gone in 30 second section where these guys have to answer however many questions within 30 seconds. We so far haven't had a band complete them all, almost at one point.
we're determined to break this.
I think eventually for this we'll do like a leaderboard. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, here we go. So write a hit and never perform it, or create a classic but that never charts.
Right.
Yeah, okay, cool. Sweet or savoury?
Sweet.
Favourite.
Okay, acoustic or electric?
Electric.
Acoustic.
Morning or night person?
Morning.
Night.
Play a festival or an intimate club gig?
Festival.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Summer.
Perfect lyric or perfect melody?
Melody.
Lyric.
What would your music smell like?
Sausages.
Candy.
Oranges.
Texting or calling?
Texting.
Calling.
Vinyl, CD or streaming?
Vinyl.
Oh, okay. We were 4 away. That's
not.
I think that's almost the highest we've had.
Really?
So you guys doing good though. You're doing good. There was some lengthy ones and I'd throw you guys off. So
Yeah.
but no, that was really good. Well done. So now breaking off from the kind of music section, just going to kind of general chit chat. What is the weirdest dream each of you have had?
Well, I've prepared for this one. So, for me, it's a bit of a recurring one. I used to have, played Super Mario, right? You know the castle levels where you
Yeah.
get the little stone things that
No.
they grumble and then drop down. Yeah. I used to have recurring nightmares about being in those levels and stuff.
Being in the level.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
thick, to be fair.
Yeah, it was quite cool. But I don't know, it's scarred me a bit. Clearly, keep remembering it. So don't have it anymore though. So. Yeah.
So I inherited quite a bad fear of snakes from my mum. And I remember one dream. Oh, I'm actually shivering. I think I must have watched some horror movie or something, because I was like chased through a warehouse, and then I ran down a flight of stairs and I was in like a basement. And then I went into like catacombs, all the while being chased by my mum and this huge black snake. That's it. And the snake was like rattling about the place, and like that, and then that was it. Nothing else
Being
happened.
chased by your mum
And the snake.
and the snake.
My mum was rapid. Yeah. Yeah. So I've no idea what that means.
Yeah.
But there you go.
There you go. Nathan, you
Yeah, go on.
prepared?
So the dream itself isn't that weird. The dream was like, oh, she's getting cheated on. But it was with somebody I worked with. But I was so convinced that it was real life and that it was happening. I woke up in a foul mood, right? And when I got to work and I saw the co-worker that was in the dream, I only looked at him. I was like, I want to just punch you so badly. And I had to take a second to go like that didn't actually happen. So yeah, the dream itself wasn't weird, but I was just so convinced it actually happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, give us yours.
Dan was involved. Go on, Dan.
The guitar tech's getting involved. Dan Merton Taylor, everybody.
Dan's got his crazy dream. I can't think of one. Genuinely can't think.
It'll take a second to recall it, but essentially I was part of the Scooby-Doo crew on a mission to find, the bad people. We're in the pyramids. And I remember me, Shaggy and Scooby... I did not say that.
What were you doing?
Me, Shaggy and Scooby. So, through the pyramids, myself, Shaggy and Scooby were pursuing these bad guys, whatever they were, these monsters or whatever. I don't remember that part, but we got to the top of the pyramid chasing them, and Fred, Velma and Daphne, who were like not far behind, just fell off the top and died. So, in honour of that, after we solved the mystery, Scooby decided that he wanted to raise money for them by taking part in a competition cycling over puddles. And in that process, he drowned in a puddle. So in his memory, myself and Shaggy went to watch a Liverpool game at Anfield. Yeah.
I think Dan's won. Won.
Yeah, I've never topped that.
So do you guys know the game Doodle Jump?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the
I
Doodle
love
Jump,
Doodle
right?
Jump.
The phone app. I don't know what it was, but I see that it was me. So I was seeing everything from the Doodle Jump's perspective, right? So everything was just white. Everything was completely white around me, and then there's just these lines, and I was literally jumping up as these like things. I'm like dodging out of the way. I was Doodle Jump.
Bollocks.
I was Doodle Jump. That's it.
That's really interesting.
I don't know why. I must have been playing it at the time,
2D?
but it's just like so. No. Everything was completely 3D.
It's crazy.
Yeah, nuts.
So, do you guys have any fear or phobias? I think we touched on one over there. We've already got that one. Any others?
I've been picturing the dream.
Yes.
Sure. Spiders are I don't like them, but I'm okay with them. I'm fine with them. Yeah, I also can't do theme park rides and stuff. I've got motion sickness. I'm dead.
Yeah.
But Luca, heights for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Spice?
I'm not scared of spice. It's a bit of spice. I'm not good with heights, and that's why I'm not good with roller coasters, because I'm not good with heights. One day though, I'm gonna jump out of a plane.
With a parachute?
No. Yes, with a parachute.
Just standard ones, really. Snakes and spiders and insects are like not interested at all. Like the stuff you see on I'm a Celebrity. No, I'd be useless if I was ever on that program.
Yeah. So, off the back of you guys hating things in the world, if you could erase one thing from existence, what would it be?
Wasps.
Wasps. Oh yeah.
Wasps.
What do they benefit to society?
Nothing. Bees are great. Keep the bees.
Keep the bees.
But
wasps.
I love elements of social media because obviously Twitter, TikTok, Instagram is how we connect with our Aristans. I'm still getting used to it. That's the best thing in the world. Like at our stage, to have these amazing people who are like they're our friends because there's not millions of them yet. However, I don't know. I mean, like every band probably in every era probably said this. It used to be so much better back in the day for a band. I don't know. I didn't experience it, but I don't know. It's just it's a dog eat dog world out there now, isn't it? On social media, and like we've got to be like really good at all of that as well as just like being a band in the. But I don't know. But I'm not trying to sound ungrateful for the sort of network we already have on social media, and also just in like you just get off your phone, stop doom scrolling. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. As long as we can still stay connected, because I heard the story about like lovers from World War II who weren't able to connect and then met when they were 70, and that would be awful.
Yeah.
So as long as you can still message people and stuff, I don't know how we'd get around connecting with the Aristans, but yeah.
Stinging nettles for me. You're on your dog walk, you got shorts on. Nightmare.
And then you've got to rub, and you've got to rub, and then you've got to rub another plant on it that you got to miraculously
Dog
find.
leaf. That's it.
Yeah.
Dog
Which-
leaf.
How's that work?
Yeah.
You know?
It's classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I'd get rid of.
You've had all this time.
I know. One thing I'd get rid of: spicy food. And I know I'm going to get a lot of.
Yeah,
I'm going
there's
to get a
strong
lot of
disagreement
hate
from the rest of the band,
for
so
that.
don't stop following
But-
the band because of that. But
They've got a story about spicy food. So, before the Ariston sort of kicked off and we started it properly, we ordered a pizza. It was just meant to be a plain margarita pizza, like basic. It couldn't get any more basic.
He still thinks that this didn't happen on purpose, but yeah, it's great.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
No,
Fair enough.
there's something there.
Yeah.
Anyway, this pizza came and it was the spiciest thing. I had to like chug. I chugged. I had to chug so much milk. Yeah, I
what was
drenched
it? What was you
myself.
chugging?
Yeah. That's That's about the crux of it, to be honest.
What is your guys' go-to meal deal? Difficult one.
Right, I got slated for this a couple of years ago when we got asked this question, and now
Really
they've
sold.
no, not really. I never said really sold. That's
You're not a monster.
But now this is what Will gets as well. Ham and cheese, ham and cheese sandwich, and a McCoy salt and vinegar crisps, and little
Boring.
orange Lucozade as well. No, I'm happy with that.
Like, you know those Cornish pasties you get? What are they called? You know the ones. Gingsters. The pasty, cheese and onion walkers, which I know is stinky, but when you're having the pasty, you want to have that, real hearty, earthy feeling, right? So they went well. And then what was it? I think I hit up like a smoothie or something, like a green smoothie, because I'm keeping it healthy.
Keep it healthy with
On
the
there.
pasta.
Well, I get slated for this one every single week.
no, this is bad.
This is the aggressive, the best one there is. Right, chicken Caesar wrap, steak McCoy's as well, and a cherry coke. The stinkiest meal deal out there,
Yeah,
but it is the best.
When he brings that to rehearsal, we all clear out. It's not okay. Luca,
The sausage, bacon, and
all day breakfast.
Egg.
one,
the all day
And it's the
breakfast.
triple, isn't it?
The
That's
all day
just-
breakfast triple.
It always gets that.
Prawn
cocktail, is it?
No, it was prawn cocktail. I really love prawn cocktail crisp, but I'm going for the sensations now.
Oh,
Yeah.
chili
They
sensations.
are the chili sensations
They
are
slap.
next level. And the drink probably just a Fanta,
Fanta. Damn.
Fanta or a coffee.
Boring.
All right, so off the back of kind of in the topic of food, what is the weirdest food combination you've had?
I don't know if this is weird, but I know I don't have it very often. But in fact, I've only ever had it a couple of times. But I'm going to say it anyway. Cheese and jam sandwiches. You think it's weird, and I thought it was weird. Try it.
Well, we'll put that one in the vault to try.
Just try it.
McDonald's chips dipped into a vanilla milkshake.
Oh, I have heard that. You've said that
It is the best one.
Yeah.
A lot of people do it actually. I think when I drove down here, I passed a McDonald's sign that called it the Forbidden Dip.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that.
That's funny. They're probably going to start making a little dipping pot for it now. Well, that's what they're going to start
Yes.
doing.
Little pot of vanilla milkshake.
I don't have one in like memory, but the other night, I made, believe it or not, I'm gonna get a stick for this. I made some pasta the other day, and I cooked it. I know, nuts, but it wasn't enough. So straight after, I made myself a bacon sandwich. So
You did not.
yeah, yeah, but that was like straight after. So I put that in the same bracket as having it together.
Wow.
It's pretty odd.
I had Tyrrell's cheese and onion with a bowl of tuna mayo. It had spring onions, tomatoes, and cucumber in it. And bear with me, I spooned up the tuna with the cheese and onion Tyrrell's, and it tasted like fish and chips. Because obviously it's fish and potato, and it literally, like, have you ever had those like fish and chip pieces, like little crisps that you get on the plane? I know that's really specific, but it tasted like that. I thought I did something.
We are some of the most insufferable people. I can imagine listening to this. I just think, why?
So sadly, coming to the last question, it's been really fun interviewing and get to know you guys, and definitely check these guys out. They're up and coming and just really, really cool music. So just finishing off, the camera is your friend. Plug everything you've got coming up and just go for it.
So coming up on the 20th of February 2025, depending when you're watching this, our new single Simona is coming out. We're supporting the lottery winners on the same day, which is super exciting. In Bristol at the O2 Academy. And working on that track was Jamie Brown. Massive shout out to him and to JBJ Studios. And we were lucky enough to be working with Right Track Records and Universal Music to distribute the track as well, which is super exciting. And there may be a few more tracks coming up as a follow-up single.
We're also
everything.
supporting Sam Sherdle at the
Yes.
Troubadour on 21st of February. I don't know when this is coming out, but we're going to play
Great
it.
London venue.
Great
Troubadour.
London venue.
Yeah.
First time.
And a really good one to come down to. Hopefully we'll get some of you guys we haven't seen in a while down because it's London, you know.
Yeah, we love
Yeah,
London.
yeah. The Troubadour, 21st of Feb, Sam Sherdle.
And we're sort of treating it as like a release party as well. So if that's more of an incentive to come down, then yeah.
Why not? Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you'd be silly not to. You'd be silly not to.
Missing out.
Yeah.
We're also playing in Manchester on the 16th of May off the Square. First Manchester gig for us. So, yeah, first time up north for us as well, so that's going to be class. And we're playing Liverpool on the 10th of May as well, so that's the week before. So, yep.
Merch as well. We've got a whole new line of merch because we've got a new logo. We had a bit of a rebrand. So we've got new
That's
T-shirts
with our good
coming out.
friends, 10 of Clubs.
with 10 of clubs. Shout out to them again. Yeah, I think that's everything
That's everything for now.
for now.
Yeah,
For now.
For now.
For now.
Also, we've got our website, theariston.co.uk. You can find everything on there, like gigs, well, like everything that you want. And if you can't find something, let us know because that's the point of our website. We got a mailing list that you can sign up to from there, which is really like good. And we're hoping good to like stay connected and all that. And we're also really hoping to get like some sort of like forum set up, maybe on a gig to gig basis. For like the Aristans, as you will become one, obviously, to like sort of connect and get together, so we can really continue building that community. Because when we're all in person together, it's amazing. So why not make that something online? So please look out for those and become part of the revolution.
Massive thank you to you as well.
No worries.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
that's okay. That's okay.
Yes,
Well,
it's been awesome.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, of course. So thank you guys for coming on. And until next time, I've been John T. This has been the Ariston. And this has also been Barbed Audio. So see you guys soon for the next episode. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers, mate.
Nice. Sweet. Nailed it.
Cool. There you go.
That might need a little bit of cutting, but
It's fine. It's fine.
You've got your World Cup.